Welcome to the North East. It's 6th against 4th in the Barclays Under-18s Premier League Northern Division today. Newcastle looking to do the league double over United after a 2-1 win earlier this season in Manchester. Paul McGuinness hands a full debut to Roshawn Williams in the Under-18s today. There's a second league start for Axel Tuanzebe in the back four as well. The rest of the side is made up of familiar faces at this level. Dean Henderson in goal. Williams and Tuanzebe join McConnell and Borthwick Jackson in the back four. Borthwick Jackson moves to left back from centre half. Ashley Fletcher leads the line. Dave Watson's Newcastle are looking to bounce back from their FA Youth Cup quarter-final exit at the hands of Chelsea in midweek. They're without three regulars, though, who've travelled down to Fulham with the first team, namely Adam Armstrong, Rolando Aarons and Lubo Satka. So Tom Herdman and Jonathan Quinn will look to get goals against United today. It is a northeast day, not for the faint-hearted. Very blustery conditions for these two sets of young players today. So it might be difficult to impress, but certainly we'll see plenty of endeavour from these two sides. Newcastle winning the reverse fixture at the Aon Training Complex by 2-1 earlier in the campaign, but their two goal scorers from that day not involved today. Armstrong and Aarons. And here come Newcastle through Alex Gilliard, trying to cause trouble for United. Decent cross in, which is missed by everybody except by Smith, who just got right underneath the ball there. Ended up scooping it high. Dean Henderson not troubled. Fletcher's layoff to Harrop. Williams with the ball up towards Rashford. Two of them working well in tandem here on the right-hand side. Just away from Willock. He'll be rescued though by Mitchell. And he's going to go for goal. And an early test for Freddie Woodman, who wasn't totally convincing in the Newcastle goal. Paul McGuinness looking for a decent performance from these youngsters today. Of course, at this stage of the season, we often see some of the younger lads stepping up from the under-16s, as is the case today with a couple of them in the back four. Just a breakdown in communication there as United try and make inroads on the Newcastle defence. It's back there with Rashford. And now Matt Willock, pushing a bit further forward today than usual. Now Harrop, looking to bend one. And that wasn't too far away at all. Well, the minute you lift the ball in these kind of conditions, it's always interesting to see where it ends up. And Freddie Woodman was a little worried there. Here's Greg Ollie. Loves to drive forward from the heart of the Newcastle midfield, and he's done so here. He's picked out Jonathan Quinn. It's a good challenge though by Williams. Watched the ball all the way and managed to stab it away towards Mitchell, who finds Willock. Good run forward from him. Stopped by Smith, but Goss will be on hand to help out. And now Rashford looking to cut inside, and he's going to strike one too. Woodman again worked. Freddie Woodman, the son of Newcastle goalkeeping coach Andy Woodman. He's been tested a few times by United now. Dave Watson, vastly experienced, of course, won the League Cup with Norwich. 12 England caps in his time. He was a captain at Everton. Goss to Harrop. Newcastle, though, buzzing around in that midfield area. Greg Ollie full of energy. As is Matt Willock, who's always on hand to help United out in that kind of position. Usually plays in the number 8 defensive role, but today pushing further forward to support Ashley Fletcher. It'll be a Manchester United free kick. It was Rashford who was taken out. In these kind of conditions today, set plays could be important. United, though, opting to take that short rather than hoisting it into the Newcastle area. Good running again here from Rashford. Now Willock. Quick change of pace and direction. And there was plenty behind the shot. Just wasn't accurate enough to worry Newcastle United. The Reds are getting shooting opportunities from this kind of range, though. Olivier Kemen, French midfielder, was actually on target in the FA Youth Cup quarter-final the other night as Newcastle bowed out to Chelsea. Here they come with Gilliard. Support from Quinn. And from Herdman and from Ollie. Slaloming through the challenges, and he's still going here until he was brought crashing to the ground by Harrop. The Newcastle midfielder less than impressed with the challenge. It gives his side a decent opportunity though from the edge of the box. Looks like Ollie's going to hit it. Oh, and in fact it's Smith who runs away from the pack and strikes it. And the deflection there could have made it really difficult for Dean Henderson. Watched it all the way into his arms though. Good safe hands here. Everyone expected Ollie to strike it, but it was Smith who got hold of it and Henderson who took charge. Greg Ollie starting Newcastle off again from that deep midfield position, and here's Gilliard. Now Smith might get a shooting opportunity, trying to create a bit of space for himself. Picks out Quinn. Up against Williams, and he does get the ball back. Dealt with though by McConnell. Gibson with a throw. Williams though takes that away from Kemen. Yeah, Manchester United throw. I think Williams was caught there, but the referee was happy with the challenge from the Frenchman. Williams perhaps not so happy that the ball wasn't given back to him. United have lost 7 of the last 10 league games. So today an important step in the recovery, if you like, after recent results. But it's a free kick to Newcastle here. Again, Greg Ollie over the ball. He'll look to angle this one into the penalty area. Could be an interesting moment this for Dean Henderson. Testing conditions for goalkeepers. So much height on that free kick. The strike eventually comes in from Kemen, who's frustrated he didn't quite get hold of that. Always difficult though with the wind swirling above his head to really see where that ball was going to land. Here's Harrop. Good battle there between the two number 8s. Managed to navigate his way past Kemen. Now Rashford trying to make space for the cross in. Fletcher waits in the middle. Can't quite find Harrop though. Challenged by Tuanzebe. United have to react quickly from the throw. It's Herdman who takes it on. Tuanzebe sticking with him. Connell's there as well. Here's Gilliard. Now Smith. United have managed to push Newcastle all the way back to halfway. They start again. Find Liam Gibson. Now John Quinn. He was hit at point blank range really towards Joshua Harrop. The referee was never going to give a free kick for that. Harrop's done really well to get his way past 3 Newcastle players here. Eventually the challenge comes in from Gibson. Well, plenty to ponder with half-time approaching. The conditions here so tricky for either side. They've done well to produce any kind of football so far. Perhaps it was one of the factors to put off Mitchell there with the layoff. You normally see these kind of conditions at Carrington, where the United players have to put up with strong winds from a relatively exposed training ground. And that's the end of a first half which has been dominated by the conditions really. Both sides having efforts from distance. United testing Freddie Woodman on a few occasions, and Dean Henderson in the United goal in fact has been busy too. But neither side have found the breakthrough. At the break, it's 0-0. Off we go in the second half, and while 0-0 won't be a particularly entertaining score for a neutral, it represents at the moment a clean sheet for both sides, and there haven't been too many of those for either team so far this season. If United can keep Newcastle out in this second half, it would be only the Reds' 4th clean sheet in 26 games in all competitions. United looking to start on the front foot. Fletcher chasing this one, but Corley Booth gets there first and finds his goalkeeper. Flick on by Herdman. Jackson does really well to keep that in fact. Looked destined for a Newcastle throw-in. Here's Keman. Borthwick Jackson recovers his position well. Manages to come away with the ball too. Flick on by Rashford, more up than on really. Greg Ollie's ball, a little bit hopeful really. We've seen quite a little bit of play like that in this game. It's been fast and furious in that midfield area. The question really in this second half is which of these two sides can have a bit more composure on the ball and perhaps produce that little bit more quality. Ollie takes it off Ashley Fletcher. Just look at the conditions here, so blustery. There's a slip from Matt Willock. Gets up to recover his position, but he took the Newcastle player down. Not best pleased with that decision, Matt Willock. But he was always playing catch-up the minute he slipped on this zippy surface here today in the northeast. I think the referee just having a word more for the reaction than the challenge. Ends in handshakes between Willock and Keman. It's a free kick for Liam Smith to try and work his magic here. Fires that one in, and Dean Henderson had to be alert at his near post. Safe hands on a tricky day. McGuinness's side just a couple of goals away from hitting 50 for the season. 25 games played before today. Competitions and 48 goals scored. 14 of those in the last 10 league games. A comfortable 5-1 win against Middlesbrough a couple of weeks ago. Now here come Newcastle. Decent strike again from Gillard. Again, the save from Dean Henderson. Neither goalkeeper really tested from close range today, but we've seen plenty of efforts from that kind of area. This time it's Newcastle's turn to have a pop. Manchester United free kick. Challenge was made there on Goss. The Reds want to get on with it quickly, and indeed they do. Here's Rashford. Smith hot on his heels. Looped up for Mitchell to chase. Ashley Fletcher, the only player up with him, and that's gone. Well, it looked like it was going out for a corner. Freddie Woodman, though, rescued it from a Newcastle point of view. And then again, the game punctuated by the whistle. This time, the decision in United's favour. It's been quite stop-start at times. A few sort of niggly little fouls in that midfield area. Here's Harrop. And towards Fletcher. They doubled up on him there. Fletcher wasn't happy with the challenge. Just caught in a bit of a Newcastle sandwich, really. Ball taken off Willock by Smith. Numbers joining him in the counter-attack here. Here's Keman. Trying to loop that ball into the middle. It's neatly dealt with by Ryan McConnell in the end. Every now and again there's just been a little bit of careless passing in this game by both sides, which has just stopped the counter-attacks in their tracks. It's Herdman trying to make headway. He's got to throw off Willock. Corley Booth comes forward to take this throw. The Newcastle side have lost half of their league matches this season. 11 defeats from their 22 games. Won 9 times though, only a couple of draws. At the moment, they're trying to turn 1 point into 3. Here's Greg Ollie. Going all the way through and striking and scoring. Well, we've been waiting for a little bit of quality in this game, really, in the penalty areas, and it's Greg Ollie who's provided that. took hold of the ball and just kept on running with it. United was slow to close him down, and when he found a little bit of space, he managed to stick it through the legs of two Reds players and past the helpless Dean Henderson. Newcastle in the box seat. They lead 1-0. That'll be frustrating for Paul McGuinness and his players. They thought they were on their way to potentially a clean sheet, a rare clean sheet in this campaign. Now they have it all to do at the other end. Here's Rashford. Looking to drive for that byline, and he did really well to get all the way through there, but couldn't hook it back for Fletcher. United, though, do get a corner. Harrop takes it all the way through as far as Rashford. And now Mitchell. Slowed down by Drennan. Rashford, who takes the cross-come shot. Beaten away as far as Goss. He'll want to have a go on that left foot of his, but he just couldn't get the venom behind it. It would trouble the goalkeeper. Dave Watson knows that his side can't give players like Sean Goss space on the edge of the penalty area. Borthwick Jackson. To Nzebe. Back to the centre half. Newcastle putting United under real pressure in that centre of the park. Ryan McConnell dispenses with the short passing, tries to go long, but you can see the wind is really causing havoc for these players at times. Trying to angle that ball much further forward up the line, and it just gifts a throw to Newcastle. Herdman. Challenge came in from Tuanzebe. Free kick to the home side. It's going to be Kemen, who goes for goal, understandably, in these conditions. Decent strike as well, which was dipping all the way through. Dean Henderson relieved to see it go over the top. Here's the goal scorer, Ollie. Kemen just behind Smith. Sean Williams gets back to stick it behind for a corner. I'm sure at this stage now Dave Watson knows that a second goal could finish it for Newcastle. It's in there towards Cameron, and it's cleared off the line by Harrop. The referee spotted something here, though. It's United free kick, and it might well be a handball actually there by Olivier Kemen. Carl Cameron's header, though, coming so close there to finishing this one as a contest. Because United are playing against the wind, they're struggling at times to clear their lines here. Fletcher manages to keep possession with the red shirts. Connell and Tuanzebe enough behind the clearance this time to find Fletcher. Gosh, just caught late there. Referee happy to play on, I think. Did spot the challenge. Here's Barber to Borthwick Jackson. Fletcher looking for Mitchell. And the challenge there by Macaulay Booth was perhaps a little ill-advised, just inside the penalty area. Don't want to give the referee a chance to even things up by giving a penalty. In the end, though, he got back to help his team out of trouble, as has Ollie there, who's got his clearance in. Now McConnell. United centre-halves having to push a little bit further forward now to add weight to these last few attacks. Harrop to Willock. To Williams. Woodman does well to snuff out the threat there from the United fullback. Managed to steer it behind for a corner. Comes from Goss. McConnell with the header, and Mitchell with the touch at the end. And Woodman, the goalkeeper, comes to Newcastle's rescue. This looked all ends up an equaliser for United. Good reflexes, though, from the young keeper. Nodded away by Newcastle. Harrop trying to keep the pressure on. Tuanzebe's there as well, but there could be a break on here. This could be real danger for Manchester United. It's Laidler trying to cut inside of Ben Barber, and he goes for goal. Barber, though, did well. He just took any real pace off the strike, which helped out Dean Henderson. If Newcastle can hold on to this lead, they will bounce back from that FA Youth Cup quarter-final defeat against Chelsea in midweek. Magpies winners of the Youth Cup twice in their history. Once in the early 60s when Bobby Moncur was in the setup. Once in the mid-80s when they beat Watford 4-1 in the final. Certain Paul Gascoigne in the Newcastle side in those days. A chance to lift it for a third time in their history. They will have to wait to next season. United will have to regroup and go again with a slightly different looking squad in the next campaign too in that competition. Still plenty of league action in this campaign to go. Not too long left in this game now. Newcastle get it clear once more. Out of Borthwick Jackson. Newcastle more than happy to take their time. Here's Ollie. Laidler's touch. Back to Cameron. Pace on that ball going all the way through to Dean Henderson. United need the ball at the other end. They need it there quickly. And they're not going to have any more time. Newcastle United do the double over Manchester United after victory here by a single goal to nil, scored by Greg Ollie. It was a standout moment of quality in a game that was so difficult for both sides in very testing conditions.